The sun was just beginning to rise over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the tarmac. The air was crisp, filled with the faint scent of jet fuel and the distant hum of engines warming up. Captain Sarah, Viper, Mitchell stood at the edge of the runway, her flight suit snug against her body, her helmet tucked under one arm. Today was just another day at work, but for her, every flight was a chance to prove herself in a world dominated by men. She took a deep breath, the cool morning air filling her lungs. The F-16 Fighting Falcon ahead of her gleamed under the dawn light, its sleek frame a testament to engineering brilliance. The ground crew moved around the jet with practiced efficiency, performing last-minute checks. Sarah had flown this bird countless times, but the thrill never faded. The raw power of the machine, the precision of its controls, it was an extension of herself. "Ready to go, Viper," Chief Master Sergeant Reynolds called out as he approached, a clipboard in hand. "Born ready, Chief," she replied with a confident grin, slipping her helmet on. The familiar weight settled over her head, the visor reflecting the early morning light. "All checks are green. You're cleared for takeoff," Reynolds said, stepping back. Sarah gave him a thumbs up before climbing the ladder into the cockpit. The seat molded around her as she strapped in, her hands moving instinctively over the controls. The canopy lowered with a hydraulic hiss, sealing her inside. The world outside became muffled, the sounds of the base fading into the background. It was just her and the machine now. "Tower, this is Viper, requesting clearance for takeoff," she radioed, her voice calm and steady. "Copy that, Viper. You are cleared for runway 27. Winds are light, visibility clear. Good hunting." "Roger that." Her fingers danced over the switches, bringing the F-16 to life. The engine roared as she pushed the throttle forward, the vibration coursing through the airframe. The jet trembled with restrained power, eager to be unleashed. Sarah exhaled slowly, her focus narrowing to the runway ahead. "Here we go." She released the brakes, and the F-16 surged forward like a predator unleashed. The acceleration pressed her into the seat, the G-forces building as the jet devoured the runway. The world outside blurred, the markings on the tarmac becoming streaks of white. Her heart pounded, not from fear, but from exhilaration. This was where she belonged, in the sky, pushing the limits. At the perfect moment, she pulled back on the stick. The nose lifted, and the jet responded instantly, leaping into the air with effortless grace. The wheels retracted with a thud, and just like that, she was airborne. The ground fell away beneath her, the sprawling base shrinking into a toy model below. Sarah banked gently, the horizon tilting as she climbed higher. The sky stretched endlessly before her, a vast blue canvas waiting to be painted with contrails. She leveled out, the jet humming smoothly as it sliced through the thin air. The sun was fully up now, casting brilliant reflections off the wings. She checked her instruments, all green. Fuel levels optimal, systems nominal. The mission today was a routine training exercise, but Sarah never treated anything as routine. Every flight was a chance to sharpen her skills, to push herself further. The Air Force had taught her discipline, precision, and resilience. But it was her own determination that had carried her this far. Being a female fighter pilot hadn't been easy. The road was littered with doubters, with those who thought she didn't belong in the cockpit of a war machine. But Sarah had proven them wrong, time and time again. She had earned her call sign, Viper, not just for her sharp reflexes, but for her tenacity. A voice crackled over the radio. "Viper, this is command. Proceed to Training Zone Alpha for simulated engagement." "Copy, Command." En route to Alpha, she adjusted her course, the F-16 responding with pinpoint accuracy. The training zone was a stretch of airspace reserved for dogfighting drills, where pilots honed their skills against each other. Today, she'd be up against another F-16, flown by Captain Jake "Rook" Martinez. He was a good pilot, but Sarah had beaten him before. As she entered the zone, her radar picked up the other jet. Rook was already there, circling like a hawk waiting for prey. "Ready to dance, Viper." Rook's voice came through the comms, playful but competitive. "Try to keep up, Rook," she shot back, a smirk playing on her lips. The exercise began. Sarah pushed the throttle, her jet surging forward as she initiated the first maneuver. The two F-16s twisted and turned through the sky, their movements a deadly ballet. Sarah's mind was sharp, calculating every move, anticipating Rook's tactics. She pulled into a high G-turn, the force pressing down on her chest, but she held steady. Then, she saw her opening. Rook had overcommitted to a dive. Sarah rolled her jet, lining up the shot. The simulated lock-on tone blared in her cockpit. "Got you," she murmured. "Damn it." Rook's voice was equal parts frustration and admiration. The exercise continued, the two pilots pushing their jets to the limit. By the time they called it, Sarah had scored 3 kills to Rook's 1. "Good fight," Rook radioed as they flew side by side. "You too, but you're still buying drinks tonight," Sarah replied. He laughed. "Fair enough." As she guided her jet back to base, Sarah felt a deep sense of satisfaction. This was her life: speed, skill, and sky. And she wouldn't trade it for anything. The landing was smooth, the F-16 touching down with a chirp of tires. She taxied to the hangar, where the ground crew waited. As the canopy opened, the sounds of the base rushed back in. Sergeant Reynolds was there again, grinning. "Another win, Viper." She pulled off her helmet, shaking out her hair. Just another day at the office. But as she walked away from the jet, she knew it was more than that. Every flight was a statement. A reminder that she belonged here. That she was one of the best. And tomorrow, she'd do it all over again.